All right. And so the first thing we always look at is, do we have parentheses that we can distribute away? And we do, right? We have some parentheses. Normally we would distribute two. I want to show you a different method because it's also something we're going to use in the next few examples when this coefficient in front of the parentheses is not a nice number like 7. Could be 2/5, 9/8, some nasty fraction, but it's going to help us. Now, imagine we had 7x. Instead of this 2y minus 8, this is 7x or 7 times x. How do I get rid of the 7 since it's multiplied with x? What would we do to get rid of that 7? Divide it. We would divide. Well, guess what? Since it's just 7 times something, we can also divide it here. Normally we're used to distributing and it works, but another alternate method is divide both sides of the equation by 7. Because 7/7 is 1, and 1 means it cancels. So I just got rid of the 7. And since I just have a factor of 1, right, this is just 1 times this stuff. Whenever I multiply 1 with anything, it doesn't change anything. So this stays 2y minus 8 for the next step. So I have that, but on the other side, I have 28 divided by 7, which is 4. And now it's just a 2-step equation. Okay? I didn't have to distribute. Any questions? Okay, let's get rid of this minus 8. Do the opposite. Uh, 4 and 8 is 12. So now I have 2 times something equals 12. So get rid of the multiplying by 2. And we get an answer. Y equals 12 divided by 2, 6. So that is a different way of handling these when all you have is some factor outside parentheses. You could just do the opposite. Here it was multiplying, so we divided. Okay. Any questions? Does that make sense? Okay. Well, let's try another one. Let's go to number 7, and you'll see why I did this. Or number 12, actually. All right. Look at this one. 1/3 times the quantity, 7x plus 2 equals 5. Write this down. Write it down. Okay, write this down. Now, the thing is, Kaylin, close your Chromebook. Close it up completely. Here's the thing. That's going to help us out here. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not a big fan of distributing 1/3 everywhere. Are you? I mean, look what happens. 1/3 times 7, that's 7/3 x. 1/3 times 2, that's 2/3 x. I'm dealing with a bunch of thirds then. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to do what I did here. Here it was 7. Here it's 1/3. So what I can do is multiply on both sides by 3 to cancel the 3 in the denominator. Remember that trick? If you want to get rid of something in the denominator, multiply both sides by that number. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of the denominator 3 by multiplying by 3. Okay? Because this 3 and the 3 in the denominator go away. I noticed someone doing this, and it works. You really won't have to when the numerator is 1, but I'm going to do it because I saw someone in the previous class doing this when they had these problems, and it worked. I wasn't going to change it because it made sense. I'm still going to leave the 1. And then 5 times 3 is 15. Okay? Now, this is a 1, right? I could distribute the 1 just so it goes away. I really didn't have to, but it won't change anything, so why not? Take a look. What's 1 times 7x? 7x. What's 1 times positive 2? 2. So do you see it didn't change anything? But hey, if you're used to that process, you want to do that, you're going to get the right answer. So go for it. Okay, so now I just have 7x plus 2. Didn't have to worry about all those thirds. Let's go ahead and distribute, or not distribute, let's get rid of this plus 2. So I'm going to subtract 2 on both sides. 15 take away 2 is 13. And now I'm going to get rid of this 7 times x by dividing it away. And I get 13/7. And I know that 7 doesn't go into 13. It goes into 14, but not 13. So just leave it 13/7. And that's your answer. We'll leave it as a fraction. Don't have to change it into a mixed number. So the answer is 13/7. Any questions? Let's get one that's a little tougher than that. Okay, so this will be number 13. Okay, here we go. 3 equals 7/2. Times parentheses 3x take away 4. I really don't want to distribute this. Here's the thing. If I distribute 7/2, this is 7/2 times 3x is 21/2 x. That's ugly. 7/2 with minus 4 is minus 28/2, which would be minus 14. And still messy. So I'm going to work with this like I did these two. First, I want to get rid of the denominator. What's my denominator? 2. So guess what I'm going to multiply both sides by? 2. Very good. So let's do that. I'm going to multiply by 2 here and here. Well, let's see what that does for us. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 7/2 winds up canceling the denominator 2. And now I just have a 7 times parentheses 3x minus 4. Okay. And you may be saying, okay, well, why don't you try the same trick? It's 7 times divide. Not such a good idea in this case. Does 7 divide into 6 evenly? I could do that, but then I get a fraction. My goal is to avoid fractions as much as possible. So in this case, if I divide by 7, this is 6 divided by 7. It doesn't go in evenly. The reason I tried it in the first example, right here, right, I divided by 7, is because I saw that 7 does go into 28. And it would give me a nice number, in this case 4. Here it's not. So in that case, I'm going to distribute. Multiply through by 7. So let's see what that gives us. 6 equals, 7 times 3 is 21, so it's 21x. 7 times 4 is 28, so minus 28. So think ahead sometimes, and you'll see that sometimes it's a good idea to divide out the number. Sometimes it's better to distribute. Okay, let's get rid of the 28. Because now we have a two-step equation. I hope you recognize when you have a two-step equation, because that means you're at the last two steps. Okay. All right. So let's see what that gives us. 6 and 28 is 34 equals 21x. Want to get rid of 21. So I'm going to divide because it's multiplying. And let's see what we get. 34 21s. I don't think I can reduce that, because 21 is just 7 and 3. And 34, no, I don't see anything. Let's just leave it as a fraction like that. Our final answer is 34 21s. It's an ugly fraction, but that's the solution. We'll just leave it that way. Okay. Any questions? Okay, we have two more left. And these are like multi steps. They won't, I think these are actually harder because of the fractions maybe. But yeah, let's give it a try. We got number 14. Okay, here we go. This one is 3 parentheses 2x plus 4 minus 2x plus 1 equals 17. So go ahead and write that down. All right. So in this case, I can't do that trick I was doing earlier where I divide both sides by 3 because I got all this other stuff outside the parentheses. So if I had something just like this with 3x parentheses 2x plus 4 equals 17, I could, but that's still not a good idea, because does 3 go into 17? No. So you don't want to do that. We have to distribute. That's why distribute works in most cases, but sometimes if you think ahead and you don't, it winds up being easier on us. Okay, so let's distribute 3 times 2x, 6x, 3 times 4, 12, and then bring down the minus 2x plus 1. Okay, so we distributed. Now, after we distribute, look over your whole equation. This one has more stuff. Are there things I can combine, put together? Yeah, actually I do. I got 6x and minus 2x. Those go together. I also have, yeah. So I'm going to use this little trick. I box some, circle others, so I can start seeing the shapes go together. So now let's combine the 6x and the take away 2x. That together makes 6 take away 2 is 4. So this is going to be 4x. And then I have 12 and 1. 12 plus 1 is 13. So this together makes 13 plus 13. So 4x plus 13, that looks like a B. Sorry about that. It's a 13, I promise you. Equals 17. Okay. So now I got 4x plus 13 equals 17. Let's get rid of the constant, the 13. Okay. So I got 4x equals 17 take away 13. That's 4. Divide out the 4. And we get x equals 4/4, which is 1. So here the solution is x equals 1. If we go back to the first equation and replace 1 for every of those x values, that would be the solution. Okay, last one. I'll give you a minute to catch up with that. In the meantime, I'll write the last one, number 15. I'll bring it up in a little bit. I just saw some people still writing this last one. You guys ready? So here's the last one. Okay, so in this one, same as the previous one, we got lots of stuff. And I'm going to distribute. Since I have lots of stuff, it's easier for us to distribute. Which one? I have x's here, if that's what you're asking. So I'm going to distribute -3. So let's see what that gives us. When I multiply -3 with -3x, that becomes positive 9x. And then -3 times -1. This is the most common mistake I see. What's a negative times a negative? So this is positive or plus. 3 times 1 is 3. Plus 2x plus 2. Just bring down the rest of it. And then we look around and see what we can combine. So I see I can combine 9x and 2x. I can also combine 3 and 2. Okay. So let's put together all the things we can combine. 9 and positive 2 makes 11. X. 3 and 2 makes 5. So that's plus 5, since they're both positive, equals 27. Okay. Now let's get rid of this 5 that's being added by subtracting 1. And we get 11x equals 27 take away 5 is 22. It looks like we'll get a nice answer here. X equals 22 divided by 11, and that's our answer. Okay, so today's assignment is solving these type of equations on Delta Math. Okay,